which will cut you, but will probably be a surprise after I just talked for half an hour about ideas. I think what I would have wished as a 25-year-old is that ultimately ideas are only partially important. I found through experience that the way something looks, its aesthetics, its form, its gestalt, its shape, is actually at least as important as the idea itself. I found that it's actually often not so difficult to have an idea, but it's often very, very difficult, and it can make an incredible difference on how that idea is executed. You know, some of the best pieces of art have no idea at all. You know, meaning you look at, I don't know, Van Gogh's sunflowers. To paint some sunflowers is one of the lamest and shittiest ideas you can possibly do. And it's still recognized as a fantastic piece of art. It's not, I have to admit, it's not my favorite piece of art, but many people think of it. And there's many examples like this in art history, where it's really about how something is made rather than the idea itself. But from a design perspective, we just found out in the studio that whenever we took form very seriously, whenever we really spent significant amount of time wondering about the exact color scheme, the exact style photographically or illustration or typographically, the overall composition, the materiality of the piece, it just seemed to work much better. These pieces were much more successful, and that really was the beginning reason of why I thought, but then my then partner Jessica Walsh was very, very much interested in it as well, and we really did it together. We started doing first this research into beauty to figure out what it actually, like one of the reasons was to figure out what it actually does. And it became very clear to us that not only does it change the way we feel in our surroundings, but also the way that we behave. And for example, specifically as it touches us as designers, if you look at beauty online, because so much of the people who create interfaces, who create the content or design the content that we see online, come from an engineering background. Beauty and aesthetics play a very, very small role, even though it's incredibly successful and it's provably very successful. All the companies, the few companies who take aesthetics seriously, where the founder of the company openly talks about the importance of beauty. Let's say like Steve Jobs was at the forefront of this, are doing incredibly well. But it seems that so many of the faculty members in art school are still of my generation, and they're all about concepts and ideas, and still poo-poo aesthetics and beauty as somehow not important or somehow not significant, or they might even think it's only surface related, you know, or very commercial like the beauty industry. And I'd wish I would have known as a 25-year-old that simply is not true, and that things that the functionality of anything we do will be incredibly improved. And I mean, that doesn't matter if it's a website or an airport. Doesn't matter if it's my workspace or a business card. All of these things will be incredibly improved if the aesthetics are really worked on.
Okay, thank you so much. It's an honor. It's an honor.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. And
Anybody
we have
else?
another question. We have a